Hey, how's it going? James here, and I am at the Barrie Game Exchange. Literally a gigantic hockey arena filled with video games and everything nerddom that you can imagine. This is for the summertime 2023, and sadly, this was not a cheap day for me. I only came home, or am going home, with 4 items, and yeah, it set me back. And one of them was free, so that'll tell you something about what I spent. I normally don't spend an awful lot when I do come to these shows, but today they got me. I spent more than I would typically do, but I can afford it, so, you know, at least if I have some fun, then that's something cool to going forward. Anyways, this is the tail end of the show. They'll be wrapping up that shortly in the next 15 or so minutes, but I do have some footage from the floor, so we'll pop into that, and then we'll check into the actual grabs. Alright, so there's some footage of the floor. It was a good time all around, never disappoints. Anyways, let's get into the 4 games that I got for the day. We'll start with the least interesting of the bunch. It was like 5 minutes before people were packing up the tables to go home. I decided, hey, I'll try for this one. I saw it earlier. Bust-A-Move 2 for the N64. Sticker says 30. I offered 20, and there is zero hesitation. It was a case of, give me 20 bucks so I don't have to take it home. And shockingly, I didn't already own this one. And me being a pretty big fan of the franchise, you know, now I can add it, whether it's a crappy game or not. Honestly, I never tried this version, so hey, I'll find out. Alrighty, I guess I'll do this one last. These 2 here was from the same vendor. And I was interested in both, and I had expressed interest that, you know, hey, can we cut a deal? And the guy's like, well, I'll tell you what, if you give me full sticker price on one, I'll give you the other one for free. And the reasoning behind that was it was a bootleg anyways. And I gotta say, completely honest, it was labeled bootleg, wasn't asking an outrageous amount to begin with. So I thought, okay, you know what? You're working with me, let's do this. I did hum and haw about it. Walked around for a while, thought about it, decided on a few other things, and then I ultimately went back for these. So we'll start with the bootleg, and this is Twinkle Star Sprites. I knew nothing about this. I did look it up, and yeah, it's a bootleg for sure, because to buy a legit copy, yeah, it's not going to happen. I would not pay that kind of money. But it's, you know, really nice condition, really nice label, all that. As I mentioned, bootleg, extremely obvious if you're into collecting for these. Look how small, you can see my face through the cartridge, and you normally cannot do that with these boards. They normally extend through the whole height of the cartridge. So even if the seller wanted to try and be a scumbag, you need a different color cartridge than this. But no, it was all on the up and up. I gotta say that. And it comes in a really nice, beautiful case. Really like that. Left the sticker. He was asking 50, like I mentioned, bootleg. But this is a cute 'em up kind of shooter, kind of bust and move bubble bobble style, where the screen's split in half and you're on your side, and then you have the opponent. And as you take care of enemies on your side, it transfers over to the other side, vice versa. Pretty cool. Would I ever consider paying legit, like for a legit copy of this? No, not for the rate that it goes for. But for something different and new that I could throw in the cabinet for friends and family to play, you know, it's got a place. It'll definitely get use. It's different. Well, different enough. Would I say it's a must-own? Me personally, no. I've only spent 20-ish minutes on it, but it's different. It's cool enough that I think people will enjoy it when they come and visit. Now, what I legitimately paid, like, for a true copy of is Captain Tomaday. And in this, you are a flying punching tomato. Yes, it's as strange as it sounds. It's another cute 'em up shooter. 220. I did look, that was kind of where I was humming and hawing this, like, 220. I didn't overpay for this, put it that way. I think I paid about what it goes for, if not a little bit less, so I feel like I did all right. And, it's not like Neo Geo games are known for being overly cheap anyways. But it's in remarkable condition. It's got the nice holographic label. I have absolutely no discrepancies about this being a legit cartridge. And, like I said, to get something that's unique, different, I think people visiting will probably get a lot more enjoyment out of this than the other one. But yeah, this is definitely an oddity. I'd have to say check it out. Try it through an emulator. If you're fortunate enough to find a legitimate cabinet with it in there, definitely worth a couple of quarters to see if you like it. But for me personally, it's like, I kind of like the more obscure, unknown titles that I can come across. So this is a nice addition. And lastly, I have Metal Slug 4. This transaction was completed at the Barrie Game Exchange. I wouldn't say it was technically bought there, but buddy Derek, he ended up hooking me up with this. He found it on, I believe, whether it was Facebook Marketplace or Kijiji, whatever, one of them sites. And he messaged me saying, he knows that I'm a massive fan of these. Dude's asking, I can't remember if it was 160 or 170. And I wrote back saying, offer the guy 150, and if there's, if it's amicable on their end, you know what, I would appreciate you grabbing it for me and we can settle up later. So 150 was offered. It was accepted. Absolutely fantastic addition. I don't honestly know if this was ever used in the field. There is absolutely no dings or scratches whatsoever, and I have absolutely no discrepancy about this being a legit card. This feels right. It looks right. I don't really want to take out the screws and risk damaging this label. I have no reason to believe that this is a bootleg cart. Considering it came with all of its literature and other things that you would stick on the cabinet, I'm fully agreeing that this is a legit cart. I have no reason to question it. And for 150, for a series that I love, that's great. I really do appreciate him doing the legwork for this. Like I said, we settled up at BGE, so I'm calling it a Barrie Game Exchange grab, even though it was planned ahead of time. He very well could have just bought it himself and put it on his table and tried to sell it for a profit if he wanted. Luckily for that case, he didn't. And it is now in my hands, and I am very thankful. Like I said, of all the grabs, this is definitely the reason that I went, because I already knew this was coming. So my utmost thanks for that. It's a great addition to the cabinet and the collection. Anyways, that is it for my Barrie Game Exchange grabs. Thank you for watching. Have a good one. Catch you next time.